I want to know, how surprised are you that Eli Manning failed to get into the Hall of Fame?
I'm not too surprised, mainly because it's only his second time on the ballot, and I do believe that he will be a Hall of Famer. He should be a Hall of Famer. And he's been a finalist each of these 2 times, so it's just a matter of when, not if. But the other reason that I'm not too surprised is because of who's on that ballot. You can only have a maximum of 5 players elected to the modern era list when it comes to the Hall of Fame, and there's only 15 finalists. And when you look at that list, it's guys like Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Adam Vinatieri, Frank Gore. There's some big, Luke Kuechly. There's some big-time names on that list. So I don't think it's more of a knock on Eli. I think it's just a testament to the talent that's on the Hall of Fame ballot right now. But when it comes to what you just mentioned, Kinsey, I understand the argument that people are making about the 500 record. 117 wins, 117 losses. Was never an All-Pro, only 4 Pro Bowls. Multiple times he led the NFL with interceptions. But for me, that's all of race because of what he did in the postseason, man. He won 2 Super Bowls. And not only did he win 2 Super Bowls, he went up against the greatest quarterback of all time to win those Super Bowls. Yeah. And the first one that he won, he was going up against an 18-0 New England Patriots team, and he found a way to get the job done at the end. Within those 2 Super Bowls, too, he threw for 550 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So it wasn't just his defense that played well. He had to play a major role in those Super Bowl wins. Also has 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He's one of 6 players to ever do that. 3 of those are Terry Bradshaw, Joe Montana, and Bart Starr. Each of those guys were first ballot Hall of Famers. The other 2, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, I think we would all agree those guys will be first ballot Hall of Famers. Yep. So I'm not saying Eli Manning's on their level. I'm not comparing him to those guys. But to be in that company for an accomplishment like multiple Super Bowl MVPs absolutely says something. So again, not too surprised because of the players on that list, but I think it's just a matter of time for when he has his gold jacket.
I see the players on that list, and I thought he should have been on that list.
Agreed.
I may not put him in over Drew Brees. Maybe Vinatieri.
Yeah.
Them guys are champions, but some people who remaining on the list, I just may not put you in because you don't got no chips. This guy is the head of the team, quarterback.
Yeah.
2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. What are we talking about? There's 13 quarterbacks in NFL history who got 2 or more MVPs. Just 13 of them. He one of them. So all them motherfuckers need to be in the Hall of Fame. That shit is hard to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely surprised, man. If it was me, I would have Drew Brees. I definitely wouldn't vote him in over Drew Brees because Drew Brees got a chip and he did numbers. But I would have both of them in there. I thought it was a year that 2 quarterbacks can go in, along with maybe Jason Witten and the kicker, and I don't know who else, but it's the bar getting moved so much to me. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be guys getting in this, Kuechly was a dog, right? He was amazing, right? What did it translate to? What did it translate to, bro? A chip appearance, 1? You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. So I don't know. I think I just hold champions up here, bro. It's too hard to do. It's too hard to do, man. So if you're a champion, you got a great chance to get in my book. If you're a 2-time champion, you the quarterback, and you was the MVP of the game, oh shit, what we talking about? That's easy work. So he would have been in if it was up to me. Probably first ballot, for real.
Man, I'm not surprised he didn't get in because, to your point, it's a lot of champions on that list that, are going on their second and third time around. Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt, Adam Vinatieri. You got guys like, Larry Fitzgerald, no chips, Kuechly, no chips. So, even Belichick, first time he didn't get in. And, as every year goes by, it gets harder and harder and harder to get in. But I'm all about what you do in the biggest games, in the biggest moments. That's part of your greatness. You can do all this stuff during the regular season, be great, have all these passing yards. And when you get into them playoffs and them championships, if you ain't being successful, you can't really claim Hall of Fame status, right? Because you're not doing it in the biggest moments, in the biggest game against the greatest competition. And that's what Eli has done. So I think that alone, being MVP, winning 2, even with the great defense, the situational, last-second drives, going down the field against the Patriots and the number 1 defense, right? that says a lot, man. That says a lot about your internal. And then alongside, you got paid. And so don't act like that don't help you and boost your Hall of Fame status up because of, your relation. And we all know that, whether you accept it or not, that has something to do with it. Your popularity, who are you tied to? That all matters. So I think Eli will get in probably next ballot, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised he didn't get in this one. It's some champions and some dogs that's really, in that line right now.
I am very surprised he didn't at least get in on his second shot. This is real simple to me. When I think of Hall of Fame, it's clear cut. If you throw a name at me, I got 1 second to think yes or no. And if I say, well, you're not in my Hall of Fame. If I have to think about it, you're not in. With Eli, from day one, in the Hall of Fame, because to your points, if you go on 2 4-0 Super Bowl runs and you beat the greatest quarterback ever head to head and you outplay him both times and outclutch him both times, you got me, man. You are in. This is Chip City. This is at the highest level. But I also say this about Eli Manning. Weirdest player in the history of the National Football League is Eli Manning because all the rest of it is crap. Seriously. Below average everywhere else except for 2 years, 2 4-0 Super Bowl runs.
But he got more playoff appearances than just those two.
Okay, yeah.
So that can't be too much crap.
Okay, so this is real crap. I'm going to show you why it's crap. Okay, let's start off with the facts.
You're just going to run off these stats.
Okay, they're not stats, they're facts. I'm going to spit facts at you. You
they
can't.
Stats, those
but you can't argue with the fact he led the NFL in interceptions 3 times. You can't argue with that.
He did.
Right.
You cannot argue with the fact he was a career 60% completion rate passer. You realize Caleb was bottom of the barrel, dead last in the NFL this year with 58%. So 60% is crap for your career.
But we just put Caleb on a pedestal with his completion percentage.
Okay, I'm just saying for a whole career of how many years? 16 years of 60%. Trust me, you know this. It's just bad football.
There are factors, though, with drops and yards per attempt. There are a lot of other factors that go into that.
If I ain't throwing a bunch of quick passes, I'm throwing it downfield.
But if I tell you your regular season record for your all 16 years is 117 wins and 117 losses, what are you going to tell me? That's pretty average, right?
Yeah. And then I'm going to say, well, shit, how many times did he go to the playoffs?
Okay.
You're going to say, shit, he went to the playoffs 6 times.
Okay.
I'm going to say, well, how many times did he win the chip? You're going to say 2. And I'm going to say, well, shit, he a Hall of Famer.
And how many MVPs did he get in the chip?
He 2.
Okay.
2.
Oh, he a Hall of Famer. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's been in the playoffs 6 times, 2 chips.
He went to the playoffs 6 times in 16 tries, right? That's not very good to me. That's not perennial Pro Bowl. He made 4 Pro Bowls in 16 seasons. Is that Hall of Fame worthy? No. And he made the playoffs 4 other times, except for the 2 Super Bowl runs, and he was crap in those 4 other times because they lost the first-round game 4 other times. And in those 4 games, he was 54% completions. He was 3 touchdowns to 7 interceptions and 2 lost fumbles. So in those 4 other losses, the other 4 years he went to the playoffs, he had 3 touchdowns to 9 turnovers in those 4 losses. But in those 2 Super Bowl runs, look at this. The first one, they went at Tampa Bay, at 13-3 Dallas. Remember, it was the T.O. crying, that's my quarterback for that game. They're 13-3 with the 1 seed. And they go in there and Eli beat them at home. And then he goes to Green Bay and he beats Aaron Rodgers and the 14-3 Packers in the cold. And then he goes, to your point, and beats 18-0 Tom Brady.
18-0.
18-0?
Yeah.
And then the next Super Bowl run, they go Atlanta, at Green Bay, which was 15-1, and at San Francisco in overtime, and they were 13-3. Okay, this is spectacular stuff. And in those 2 4-0 runs, he goes 15 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Think about that. 15-2 and completed 63% of his passes. Well, that's like another human being. That's like a different guy. From all the other things I just told you, he turned into somebody else twice. And for that reason, he's in my Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Because you can't find it. It's beyond Drew Brees. It is. It's beyond what Drew Brees did. Drew Brees didn't have playoff runs like this.
Nope. So if I ask Cody, you'd rather go to the playoffs 9 times out of 17 years and have no chips, or you'd rather go to the playoffs 6 times, had 2 chips, be the MVP twice out of 16. Like, what are you picking?
Yeah,
That one.
Yeah,
Easy,
not-
right?
not-
All right,
two rings.
so that's
What are you
Warren
talking
Moon. If you'd rather go to the playoffs 10 times out of 17 years and have no chips, or have Eli's, which one are you picking?
Eli.
Eli's.
Okay.
All right, so that's Dan Marino's. All right, you'd rather go to the playoffs. You'd rather go to the playoffs 8 times out of 11 seasons. So you in the playoffs every year. Go to 4 Super Bowls and have no chips, or Eli Manning's. Which one you picking?
Eli.
Eli. So like, bro, every quarterback in the world is gonna pick Eli's career over those 3 Hall of Famers.
Okay.
That's just the first ballot to me.
So just keep it in perspective. So Eli's New York Football Giants missed the playoffs 10 times out of his 16 years. And we're saying first ballot Hall of Famer. And I'm good with that, but that's how weird he was.
I mean, because there's players in there,
Yeah, it is
it's
confusing.
quarterbacks in there who did the same. Like, if you went to the playoffs 9 times and out of 17 years, okay, you didn't go 8 years. But Warren Moon in the Hall of Fame, he got 0 chips.
Yeah.
You win the Hall, he in the Hall of Fame. So
Yeah. Well, all the boys still think Eli is going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no,
I
yeah.
assume next year.
All
I
right,
hope
but-
so.
Well, I do have some exciting news, you guys, because we got